Hi, welcome back everyone to another episode of our heart-powered inspiring interviews. And as every single time, I'm really excited to have all of you here with us and also to have my special friend Nina Kaiser with us today. Because every day we introduce an incredible entrepreneur, business leader, change maker, someone that we know is going to inspire you in the greatest way. You might wonder who actually is Nina Kaiser. Well, she is an out of the box thinker. She's a deep listener. She's definitely a passionate connectress. I love that term, a connectress, and a co founder of Mind Gourmet, which is a personal development platform that serves delicious food for thought, which I think we all need to take in again and again, to stay nourished and vibrant and inspired, to be able to make the impact in the world we are making. And Nina has always been fascinated with the mind. From when she was little, she was on a quest to find out how life worked. And during her 18 years working in education, she really became frustrated because she always had to teach this traditional curriculum. And when really what she wanted to teach is teach people about life, right? You know that probably all the things we learn in school, and then we feel like later in life we think like that is what I would have loved to learn. And also now Nina today, she runs Mind Gourmet, a buffet of food for thought from the fields of spiritual and personal development, where she really enjoys presenting and connecting powerful concepts, inspiring ideas, and fascinating people. And I highly recommend eventually you check it out, Mind Gourmet, because she really has truly inspiring guests. I've seen on her guest list that who is who of the world in the fields of personal development and spirituality and personal growth. We all learn a lot about life and how life works. Well, Nina, it's amazing to have you with us. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Monique. I feel so honored to be your guest today.
Great. And as this is our Hot Powered Inspiring interviews, of course, now probably more than for a long time, a lot of us are going through challenging times. And, things still, as you know, as I know, everything that happens in our reality in the first place is created in our mind and heart, right? So, what do you do right now? As you teach people about life, what do you do yourself right now to stay joyful and vibrant, and as we call it, in the vortex where you feel good and excited about life?
I realized, I think, not too long ago, maybe half a year or a year or so, that what I really thrive on is resonance. This feeling of alignment, of being in tune, of being turned on, tapped in. Like, it's a flowy feeling, but it's also this feeling of being met with warmth and curiosity, which means to me, what keeps me inspired and in flow is just following what I resonate with. So it's basically following my joy and the breadcrumbs of life, fulfilling my need for inspiration, which for me is deep conversations. It's my food for my soul. That's where my interviews come from. I listen to podcasts and audiobooks a lot. They always inspire me and uplift me. And what I love too is my introverted self loves going on long walks and recording voice messages for people I love and sharing my thoughts. So basically, what I do is I take care that I have enough resonance to enjoy with others, myself, and what we could call the divine.
Mm, beautiful. That's wonderful. And I know there's a couple of exciting things that you are really cooking up right now, right? And besides Mind Gourmet and above and beyond that even. And so what are you doing right now to really, no matter what's happening in the outside world, to really bring what you do right now to a different level?
I really strongly look for what I resonate with and what life presents me. That's in a way there's two sides of the same thing. And I don't know why, but I love observing what life brings to me and then see how I respond to it. And so, for example, that's how my interview series started, because I just thrive on deep conversations and I started reaching out to people. And it didn't take a long time, and interview guests were just lining up, and it was no, so you know this, what people might sometimes call path of least resistance. And Mind Gourmet has many facets, but that's my core passion and resonance. And then mainly to prepare those interviews, I have been always reading the author's books from start to end, and I just realized even more how much I just love powerful quotes, sentences that when you take them out of their context, they even get more powerful. And so I started highlighting their most powerful quotes. And sometimes I even started reading their own quotes to them and asking them to expand on them. And that's how my service, that's called Your Quotes, came into existence, because people actually loved having their own quotes. So what I do now is that I go on a treasure hunt in people's books and I distill the most powerful quotes for them. And if they want to, also I make their designs, because most people use them on social media. And then my youngest birth project is my very own version of something that might be called a PR service. I would probably more call it a visibility project. I call it Resonant Relations, and it's about finding your way of expressing yourself in the world. And that came into existence because it's really funny, but it really happened that people just came and said, "You're so good at connecting people. Can you help me with this? Can you be my PR person?" And so it felt good. And so I followed my breadcrumbs, and I'm really, really passionately exploring this field now.
Beautiful. So how are you exploring that further?
By both listening within and without, which means, in a sense, it always comes back to resonance. I look around what's available in the field of PR, and I see what resonates with me, because the people that approach me interestingly and that I love to work with are people who are very similar to me. So it's people who, in a way, see their journey in visibility as a journey with themselves. And so it's about finding your voice, allowing yourself to shine, knowing what actually you stand for. So exploring these things, which I, for example, often do not find in traditional PR. So my take on it is more the inner journey that results, of course, in outer appearances.
Beautiful. And you know, I love it because again, there's so many PR agencies out there that only look at the outside of things, right? And I know you work a lot with entrepreneurs, and often a lot of them are actually expert entrepreneurs, right? Like coaches, trainers, speakers, consultants, and so on, that have a message to share. And a message comes from within in the first place. So, you know, I love your work where you're creating PR strategies, but looking deeper than what most PR agencies actually look at. You look at the core of the person. You look at what's going on in their mind, their heart, and their soul. What is really their deeper message that will not only resonate with them or resonates with them already, but also resonates with the audience in a greater way, right? You're doing so powerful work, Nina, in this way, because you know, as you all know, I'm running a community of speakers, and you know, a lot of speakers also, they want to get onto more stages, and you help, from what I understand, some of your services also helping speakers to get out there more, right? To get booked on podcasts right now, I mean, on, you know, open up speaking opportunities online right now. And also then again, the world keeps turning, right? We're gonna end up, you know, waking up in a new world soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
People want to step onto stages again. You help them open doors to stages, and you help them get into media, and you help them to get more visible. But you don't just do all the things that a normal PR agency does. You really look at the resonant message, and I think this is in this powerful combination, it's incredible. So I know you're all about resonance, and you help other people to really step up in the current times. So what would you recommend other people to do right now to really find what is resonant within them, and how does it connect with what they do in their work and their business? I mean, you and I, we work a lot with entrepreneurs. How can business owners, specifically and change makers and business leaders right now, find what is resonant in them so they can serve the world in a greater way, they can serve and support more people, they make a bigger difference, and they also step up with their own business along the way? What can they do? What would you recommend?
I think it's first, to me, it's first allowing to be resonance a priority. Because often it's like, oh, we have these to-do lists, and then we have to do this and this, and revenue has to come in here and here. And while all this does make total sense, I believe that following our joy and passion, looking for what's in alignment, and really paying attention. Because I realized in my own journey, we do always have those feel-good moments, but to really explore what actually is it that makes me feel good. And also to make this shift, which has been huge for me, to not discount it as not valuable just because it doesn't feel like a lot of effort. And to really get a feeling for, I mean, even though being an accomplished entrepreneur, I think, is worth re-feeling into who I am, what resonates with me, who resonates with me. Doing really resonant networking, I find, is way more precious than sending out 700 pitches into nowhere, so to say. And so first, have an awareness of what resonates with you and who, and then, because that is what life presents to you through the books you read, through the people you talk to, through the news you hear, through everything, and then respond in congruence with what resonates with you. And this needs awareness, and that needs sometimes courage, because sometimes what resonates doesn't make sense, at least not in the first place. So what I would really love to encourage everybody is to start prioritizing, noticing resonance, and then responding by taking like visible steps, and see what then comes back from life you can respond to again. And what I see that what really helps is, I don't like so much the word accountability, but I like the idea that there are people who respond to what I put out in the world, and who actually kind of wait because I said I would share what I'm going to do. So I love your HeartPowered Global Nation, and I think it's a wonderful place to say, hey, this is what resonated with me today. And don't discount it if it is small, because it often stands for something really big, like what actually is for you a facet of what you would never want to live without, and then see where it takes you.
I love that. And I think we're going to come back to that. And still, I would love everyone to just take a little bit of advantage of having you, specifically, Nina, knowing that you are such a great connector and PR person and podcaster. I have two quick questions for you. Would you love to share a couple of hints and tips for everyone that is with us today? Because a lot of them say also, like, now I've been in on stage in real life, now I need to do more online speaking. Like, from a PR perspective, where can they start finding online speaking opportunities? Can you just give some hints and tips on that?
So I go with what resonates. yes, I do look at numbers because I know it's important for people, but what I really do is I pay attention to what comes across my way, either because I just explore my universe, or because I really say, okay, now I'm going to research podcasts, radio shows, speaking engagements, be it virtual or in person, because I think it's not so different. And then I make a list. It's like an outreach list. It's an Excel spreadsheet for me, where I just list the names of the podcast, the host, the website, the contact person, and then really feeling into it, like, do I want to be guest on this show? Is it important for me if my host has 70,000 followers, or is it important for me that I just like this person a lot and how they present people to the world? I think that's a very important criteria to actually know how and through by whom I want to be presented, and not just think like I need many speaking engagements.
Yeah.
And I see plenty of opportunities in the virtual world because everything is happening digitally now at the moment, and there's so many interviews happening.
Absolutely, I love it. Thank you. And these are very tangible hints and tips. And what I love what you're saying is, and I so resonate with that. It's not about the numbers, right? Or not only about the numbers. It's even more important, like, how do you resonate with the podcaster, with the podcast, with the audience they seem to serve, and then go for those. And I resonate very much, Nina, with your Mind Gourmet podcast. And I had the honor and pleasure to do an interview with you recently, so that's going to come out soon. So all of you keep an eye out for that one. And Nina, I mean, a lot of people that want to be more on podcasts right now might be wondering, how do podcasters choose who they invite to interview and who not? Why don't we share a little bit? Because I'm running these HeartPowered interviews, inspirational interviews. You're running the Mind Gourmet. A lot of people say, so what helps me to get a chance to actually be selected? You being a podcaster of Mind Gourmet, how do you choose your guests? What are you looking for in guests?
Well, maybe we can jam a little together. So my experience both in the field of visibility, PR, and also being an interview host myself is that when I get requests to feature people, I research them. I research them when, or if, that's actually better said, if I feel like this person is really writing to me. I do get quite a few messages that sound like, hi, I want to be your guest. And they sound like it could be sent out to 1,000 platforms exactly in the same way. So what's important to me, not because I want to have a big ego, but I want to know that the person really wants to be my guest because they maybe watched an interview, or that I did browsed on our site, saw if the feeling resonates with them, and then I start doing my research. And when I feel and see that what the person has to offer fits into my buffet of food for thought, which needs to be uplifting, and it needs to fit into the realm of personal and spiritual development, then I invite them to be my guest. And then just the regular stuff, like you send out information and you make an appointment, and then it happens.
Yeah.
So how is it for you?
Yeah. I mean, I already ran a podcast like 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, and back then already we were quite successful. Within 5, 6 months, we had 20,000 listeners. And still, I remember even back then, at the beginning, it's not really easy to get the right people onto your podcast as interviewees. But as you get more visible and you grow, a lot of people knock on your door. And that's the same today, right? I mean, I relaunched my HeartPowered Inspiring Interviews. I get a lot of requests from people. So again, I love what you're saying. It so also resonates with what you said before, and it's in congruency with what you said before, because it's not about numbers. We don't only even choose the guests for our podcast based only on how big is your network.
Right.
That also plays a little bit of a role, but it's actually not that relevant, because I also interview incredibly inspiring people that don't have a big network yet, but I know that their message will inspire all of you that are here with us right now. And I know they have these golden nuggets inside that will inspire my audience. So I look at it from the perspective of asking myself in the first place, will they be uplifting my audience? Because I care about all of you that are with us right here, right now, watching this interview today. I really want to make sure that I bring someone on that shares our energy, that shares our values, that we resonate with, because then we know they resonate with our audience. I also look for stories that are not the norm. I look for people that have stories from their life, that they went through in a way that I feel like if they share that, that's going to be hugely encouraging, motivating, inspiring to you all, right? So this is what I look at. And also, of course, one way is also a great recommendation. If someone comes recommended through a friend of mine that I highly appreciate, that helps. So if you're looking for stage time opportunities, like you want to be on podcasts and so on, see who are podcasters in your field, in your market, you're connected with, maybe through a friend, and get in touch with those first, because it's easier to get accepted this way. Maybe just another little hint. Okay, Nina, there's always one question we also ask, and we always like to make things very hands-on, very practical from every interview. So what is one thing you would recommend everyone that is here with us today, that loves to play with us and take a concrete step with their visibility, with their PR, with finding what resonates with them? What can they do in a very practical way today? What is one action, one step they can take to get them to the next level? What would you recommend?
So on a very general level, I would say go consciously through your day today, and at the end of your day, make a list based on what resonated with me and what didn't, and put your 5 highlights and your 5 lowlights into the Facebook group. If it comes to the concrete question of what can I do to push my PR, I would say allow yourself to really play. Go online, type in the search words and keywords, go through iTunes and all those big, like, how would you call them, places where you find those things. And of course you can look at the numbers, and I don't think they are bad, but we often miss out because we have a too much preconceived concept of what's right and what's wrong. Tune into shows, listen to how people introduce their guests, look what they look like, look at their background, look and just feel into if you would like to be their guest. And if yes, and you have your press material together, just send it out to them. And if you still need to create your press material, start thinking about how you would like to introduce yourself and just speak from your heart. I think that's the most important thing.
I love that. And I think, thank you, Nina, you're always so generous. There's pretty much like 2 things I heard out of this that I would invite all of you to play with right now, okay? So like today, after listening to our interview today, start becoming more observing of what are things that make my heart sing. As you're going through your day, what are things that bring you energy, that bring you vibration, that make you feel excited, right? Passionate, and start writing them down. And as Nina said, play with us in our HeartPowered Global Nation. Share with us, what are your 5 things? Share with us tomorrow, what were your 5 things or 3 things today that you picked up that made your heart sing? Because again, if we share that with each other, this is such an inspiration in itself, right? And if you really want to step up and get more visible out there, take the second golden nugget and suggestion from Nina, and really do your research and find out what podcasts, what online summits, what platforms at the moment are attracting speakers that resonates with you. And guess what? When you share them with us in the HeartPowered Global Nation, it has actually such a powerful effect. First of all, you inspire others to look at them and to become aware of these platforms as well. Secondly, there might be someone in the community already that's connected with the person that's running that podcast, or creating these podcasts, or running this online summit. Or third opportunity is that in the community there might be other people that by your message get inspired to share other podcasts, other online summits, other opportunities for you to speak, and you open each other greater doors. So again, 2 suggestions.
Can I add something?
Yeah,
one little thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What I love about this Facebook group is I believe relationship and connection, pure human connection, always comes first. And to me, this is the core of business relationship building. I would never build a relationship because I'm expecting it to result in a success that I can make money out of, because that just, to me, doesn't feel right. I believe if we are genuinely interested in people, beautiful opportunities come out of it, because people feel seen and loved and trusted.
Yeah.
And that's a totally human thing that isn't necessarily businessy in the first place.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the group is a beautiful place to be connected.
Yeah. So again, I love what you just shared. It's so true. Pure human connection is key. So again, okay, share your 3 or 5 things that switch the light on in your eyes, and get your butterflies going in the belly today. Love to hear from you tomorrow. What are these things? And also, as we said, share the podcast you feel called to be a guest on. Share the online summit. Share everything where you feel you would love to speak at, and invite others to share what they are aware of, because again, then we create an incredible space together where all of us can make our light shine together in a much brighter way. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Nina, for being with us today. I know a lot of people would love to get in touch with you and learn more about PR and learn more about resonance and check out your Mind Gourmet. Where can they find you?
Oh, just go to mindgourmet.com, and everything else is easily to find there.
Perfect. That's easy. Mindgourmet.com. Okay. See you all there. And again, check out these incredible interviews Nina is doing. And Nina, thank you so much for coming on, playing with me today. I know you're a very busy lady. And thank you all, each and every one of you that has been with us today. I hope we could inspire you and give you some precious hints and tips. We look forward to have you back on when we run another episode of the HeartPowered interviews very soon. And in the meantime, let's go and connect on a heart-to-heart level, personal connections in our HeartPowered Global Nation. See you there and have a wonderful day, everyone. All the best, Nina. All the best.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.